y'all finna start seeing a lot of music, a lot of work. Like, I'm not tripping at all. And it's like, if I was broke, I'd be pressed. I've been saving my money up from stuff that I've been doing. And I'm working on stuff behind the scenes with Brandon and, you know what I'm saying, just a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So music is my main focus. But I want to bring the right project at the right time and really get y'all what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm always working on my craft, but I don't never let what other people saying dictate where I'm at. You know, I'm good. I'm straight. Like, I wouldn't even be in the position I'm in. I wouldn't even stay in a position if I felt like, you know, I wasn't comfortable.
Yeah, I get that. But still, like, even with you, not saying that you're not doing well, because you're doing well and you keep progressing, but did you think eventually at some point you would like for example, and I hate to make this comparison, like Cardi B just felt like she just jumped out and it's just like the biggest thing, right? You ever thought that, yo, I was gonna pop off bigger, quicker? You get me?
No, because like I don't really look at that.
Not compare to her.
Cardi B is a whole different case than
I mean, but people were still buying my albums, but even my first album, it's crazy when you drop an album and then it actually makes it. When we forecast, hey, and they say, hey, when you put a record out and start working a little bit, then maybe the label missing, hey, you missed that, but you better go get another one. We'll spend on that. When you keep spending and compounding mistakes, because mistakes got to cover up mistakes, so we lies cover up lies. Yeah, you're looking at that.
And I assume no one at the label will tell you to cut it out, because that's more money for them.
No.
They're like, keep spending.
I wish I would have got that call. Even with studios, this shit was like, man, like normally, and it works where if you approach someone and like, yo, bro, I need your help. And they be like, bet. But if it's a middleman approach, you don't know what that talk is like. So sometimes premium is just the regular price. But if that person fucks with you, they're like, you know what? I got you, bro. It ain't gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? And that was the difference. Man, it's when they know that there's money involved, like, man, well, shit, yeah, we charge this. And they go, and ain't nobody gonna say no. Hell no. I'm like, okay, bet, we gonna pay that. Me, I'm gonna be like, bruh, I can't do that. Like, look, how can we work this out? And it's one of those situations, right?
I'm dying to know what, with all of this information, what happened at Def Jam with you?
Man, I just think that people.
I just think.
No. Well, it's like this, right?
That's all.
I'll say this. Physical copies and the idea of me selling an album, right, started to go away because of streaming. Everybody was confused about the idea of, oh, motherfuckers ain't really going out and buying albums. I'm like, they just streaming and shit. And so letting me go made sense because a lot of my supporters don't like, maybe not like buying their album with their credit card. They want to go to the store. They don't trust the internet or that kind of idea of it. So they actually going to buy a tangible album. That's why physical copies was so important for me in these small cities and in the Best Buys and shit. Cause that shit still means something, especially for people in the South, right? Streaming hit, and it was like, oh, there's really no space for you.
That stuff still means it's still important in the South, is it?
Yeah, man.
Where do y'all buy out?
Man, Best Buy. Because all the record stores that used to be open kind of went out of business.
As did Best Buy. It's over here, I guess.
Yeah.
No, they exist. Tower Records and Virgin went out as
No, Best Buy closed down a lot.
Yeah, no,
they're still
closed
down.
Yeah,
but they're closing down. It's happening.
I mean,
dude, how is it with the
people were still buying my albums, but even my first album, it's crazy when you drop an album and then it actually makes it number one, and everybody's like, wow, we didn't expect that, right? Oh shit, like, congratulations. It was like, hey, we knew that was, the motherfucker was like, whoa, okay, you actually do have a following. It just wasn't on the internet as much as it was in the streets. And it's still like that now. So when they let me go, it was really like, it wasn't even difficult. It was like a sign letter, thank you for your appreciation.
Yeah, but that's not
answering
my question. That's not answering my question.
What?
What was your question again?
My question is about your time there, not about you leaving. Because all of this stuff, when you signed to Def Jam, You were huge independent.
Yes.
I would assume that they understood that when you got there. So when you talk about the disconnect of
L.A. Reid signed. L.A. Reid was there when I signed. And then 3 weeks later, they got rid of it. And then they got rid of staff, most of the people that was working with it. So you had a new person and a whole bunch of new people that wasn't necessarily familiar with what I was bringing to the table. Technically,
that's what happened to me.
so you know how hard, like, that's like you have to start all over, like new, all over again, proving yourself to a building or to, as far as the support is concerned. So that's the beginning of how shit got kind of whoa, right? And then from that point, it's like you go into the office and it's all good, because I'm almost like, I'm still gonna do what I need to do. But it's like I'm trying to prove myself through all the aspects. And then the wall, and this is really drop. I remember that I saw the wall, and it's like all the pictures. You ever see that shit? All the pictures of everybody.
I was there one day. One day you walked down the
Yo.
hall. No, it's Hope and me and Shante. And then they just, you know what I mean?
I had to be 4 years in to be inside and realize that there was no picture of me.
Not even the smaller ones.
Not even not.
They get the big ones.
Nah,
the big
G.
thumbnail. We ain't even get the little.
You
fucking
that shit was crazy. I was like, bro, we got, like, bro, I'm looking because
Morale. Make me feel good while I'm here.
I just want to be a part of the roster. And then I'm like, bro, goddamn.
But you rap about this,
Come
right? So
on.
I don't know if this is like actual true life that you're there, and then every time you are judging for this new artist, but then here you are trying to reprove all the greatness you've already showed them. I can imagine. I would just want to give up.
But that's the industry, mind you. That's not just them. It's the industry. I mean, I remember when all hip hop used to only post 4 songs. Way back in the day, 4 songs and stayed up for a week, and it's another 4 songs come out. There's so much music that comes out. So many artists, right? So I'm not even tripping on how they maneuver and find artists, but the youth in being important, or the priority level changes. It goes from being 5 artists and that's that to it's like 100 artists. And how do you stay in the mix, and how do people keep remembering that you're also important and that your music is moving? That shit is difficult.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, now you sign there, now you're forced to compete with your label mates.
Come
Oh
on.
man, and you don't want to do it. Like, you in the studio and you're like, bro, when your album coming out? Oh, you coming out? Okay. Damn, my album coming out at the same time. It's like literally when planes take off. It's all like, how your runway ain't really clear, and it's this. And so, like, that's what you're searching for. Like, damn, I want to do this so I know I can get the support right here and be able to take off without anything competing, and they'll pay all the attention. It's like that.
So interesting he says that. So remember on the last show, well, a couple shows ago, we were talking about if you're an artist in a tricky label situation, right? He's like, ignore all of that, create. My question was, is it that easy when you have to take into consideration the other artists on the roster?
I
That's
mean,
my question.
you create, but for me, in the beginning, especially being with a label, I mean, being on the label, I was trying to be aware of the business. And then shout out to all the people that were actually telling me the business, you know, Dutch Steve, everybody is talking to me. And it's kind of one of those situations where that affected my creativity, because I knew what I was getting ready to go into when it came to dropping the album. Live from the Underground, I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm frustrated, because my single came out in September of 2011. My album didn't drop till June 2012. That's, what the fuck? And then I dropped the mixtape in between that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
We were wondering, like, where is...
damn, he just dropped a single, but shit, it just took him, what the fuck, what's going on? It's a new year, and that was because of how everything was going, and waiting on people to be like, yeah, green light, good, oh, this is good, and yeah, so it's hard to be creative and still be dealing with what you're dealing with. But it's a blessing that I wanted to listen and actually learn about what was happening. So I have a label of my own.
This nigga
being able to push that,
forward.
and the artists I sign won't go through that shit.
When I just to address the disconnect, when I said create through it, I'm no longer talking about music as a creator. So when Crit says I was creating, but things were happening that my creation couldn't really manifest properly, you know what it was time for Crit to do? Get information so he could learn to create outside of music. I have to learn the business now, because in learning the business as a creator, now I will be able to successfully navigate through it with more tools in my arsenal. I'm not just here with my talent.
Right. And I understand the tools. I guess my thing is, the emotional effect and psychological effect
That's
that
what
you
I
have,
want-
and
that's
how
what
much
I
that
want to
you
hear
feel.
about.
Sometimes you just fall into a dark space and you can't create
man.
from that space, and I guess
Fucked
that's what
up.
I'm
Yeah,
curious about.
I mean, it's a blessing that I can write a song no matter what I'm going through. And happy, sad, whatever, and then I can write and I can make music. People normally can tell when it's like, damn, bro, that shit jamming, but man, it just sound like you wasn't into it, or I didn't expect that from you. And then me, I'm like, damn, yeah, I really was going through that at the time. But the depression, the anxiety, the insecurity, as an artist, you're never supposed to play a record and be like, you're just looking at people and you're kind of like, you're not really bobbing your head. I'm the kind of person, if I'm in, like, if I don't really know, I look to the left and try not to look at everybody.
Get the ball.
That's because I'm so in touch with, I didn't really enjoy this song. I didn't enjoy making this. I don't really think, I'm not comfortable with this. What they think about. Everybody's gonna tell you how they feel, and then it's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, they didn't like that. That snare wasn't on my voice. Oh, okay, and it just keeps rolling over. And the album starts to reflect the uncomfortable aspect of yourself. The sequencing reflects it. With certain songs become in the beginning, and they should have been in the end. And oh, bro, it's all crunk, and then it gets sad, and it's like as an artist, you can't help yourself because it's like you're just your child. You're like, hey. And you know when you send it out to the world and it wasn't ready, kind of shit. So.
You sound like you're relating over here.
Yeah, I'm shutting up.
Hey, bro, it's like, hey, you know,
I didn't even have to hear. I didn't have to hear. Really, this is great.
No, but we're glad that you're here.
Yeah, bro, but it's good.
I'm reminiscing as it talks.
You hear all this pain in the music, and I don't think you have to be necessarily only an artist to relate. You know what I mean? Just being in the industry, yeah, exactly. You go through just in your career and stuff like that. But glad that you pushed through and still made a great album.
Hey, man,
right?
well, this album was different. It's freedom. I was working on this album, and the label didn't even know. And I was paying for it all. I went broke working on this motherfucker.
Oh, really?
Because it was like, I know what I'm spending. I know what's happening with the financial aspect, but it's mine, right? I didn't take a budget to make it for anyone else. And
Ownership.
Turn it in. It's like, shit, if I didn't turn up with it, I didn't turn up with it. It's one of those situations.
Well, how could you have made all of these records? If you made all of these records, because this is a double disc without the label, no, doesn't that speak to the fucking...
I was released before the album was done. So I dropped 12 for 12.
Working on it while you were there.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, if you're doing that and the label has zero idea, and you were smart
What was
not to let them
that?
know, because then they keep you, I guess.
I mean, because you
Then
work.
they keep you. Well, yeah, but shit, I put Moon Music 2 out on the street, and they kept me. They kept me.
12 for 12 came out the same day I was released. Fucking bitch.
See?
Freestyle, right? But it's like, whoa, it's like, okay, if we drop and we make a move,
No one.
if it gets exciting, then shit.
Yes. This album, though, I mean, I guess my point was, for you to be making this album and them not be there, it speaks to all of the issues that are in the bill. Somebody's job is that. You think that's because there are no A&Rs anymore? There is nobody, because the A&R man was the person
That was
kind of
in the room with you.
the middleman.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't need the A&R,
Yeah.
you could create. Now the A&R is gonna go tell the label, yo, Crit, it got some shit. We got one. It's coming. So they were in touch. The pulse was there. With that missing, I don't think Def Jam, new Def Jam, lets this walk out the building.
Of course not.
This is.
We were working from a different perspective. And even if we would have stayed there, it still would have been that. Because it wasn't, the room was literally me and people I trusted ear-wise. There was no A&R because I know where I want to make music. I'm a producer. And when it comes even to the last album, it was like, this is what I want. There's no need. You don't have to send me beats with hooks on them from artists. And nah, I'm good. Because I'm going to go seek out the people I really want to work with, and I'm going to work with them. And that's just how that works. That's how I was able to keep my creative control. Because even when they did send me some shit, I was like, because that sounds too much like you trying to push me over here, and that's not who I am.
Yeah, you don't even know what I'm doing sonically over here. Get out of here. I had a question, but I'm so enamored with the shit he's saying.
Nah, fuck it, man. Let's go.
Y'all fucking, come on, say something.
Do you want to talk more about this, or we can take a break and do Who Body Moves and come back, or you want to keep
I was really
rocking?
watching both of y'all because it feel like you were really mirroring what this nigga's been saying and some of the like horror stories he's given, and it was just, it's different. Well, not different, but it's kind of different.
It's different.
Hearing you say it, I'm like, yeah, like even when you said that basically L.A. Reid was on there for 3 weeks when you got there.
Yeah, I was thinking he was leaving.
You got signed that.
I don't think nobody knew. The excitement was like, yes.
You got signed, they canned the GM and the coach. Now you got a new coach, new GM, they looking at you like, this nigga don't fit the puzzle, bro.
Yeah, the music I made for Leo and Kev was very different from the music that LA was expecting to hear in the building. So those changes, you wish you could just be privy to them before it happens, because you'll make some different decisions. That's all. I don't think Crit is staying there if the people that brought me in here are not going to be here to see it all the way through.
I don't think they're signing me if the people that are saw like it would have been a different way, or I would have gone to the place that L.A. Reid was other than that one. I mean, you go there and you know somebody looks at you and like, I'm like,
why is it going so slow?
Right? Like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, I did that. I know what you're making. I understand that. And then that person is, whoop, oh shit. You know what I'm saying?
But it seemed like this Forever Is a Mighty Long Time album is the style of music that Def Jam would like to produce.
Man, I don't know. I mean, because I've been doing that. Mind you, records like The Vent, you talking about country shit, and these I got this, right? It's that feel, southern, unapologetically country, going at it. Even you think about LeBron and them playing it when they won the championship in Miami, and even going like and telling people, oh, we was listening to I Got This here in the locker room, and and to not move on that record, right? Because quote unquote, it's too many curse words in the hook. I'm like, yo, not really, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we already got the juice. This is an easy win here. Like we can, but it just fell apart. And so it changes my mind frame of how to create music. Because I'm like, damn, that was natural. I just made that. That shit didn't work. What the fuck I need? What I need to make?
Now you want me to create from a place of doubt.
Oh my God.
And uncertainty.
And it's real easy to shift how somebody paints on the canvas, bro. It only takes one person to be like, yo, I don't really like how that looks. And your whole painting pictures
on a different
and it ain't yours no more.
You know, we hear the frustration in your music, but do you ever wish you could be completely transparent with fans in the moment? Like when they're hitting you, wondering what's going on, but sometimes you just really can't tell them what's actually going on. I think it might feel nice if you could unleash all of that.
I'm doing it now.
Now, again, in the music, but I think at the time,
at the time,
sometimes you wish you could just get on Twitter and like say what it really is. But you know you can't.
I'm a little more mature than
I know.
Nah, because people read things in a different way, and you can really, you put it out there and they don't really understand. They're gonna create what they think you're saying versus talking about it, right? I'm sitting here and I can talk about it. On my music, I can tell you. Typing that shit is like, yo, because everybody's gonna be like, this what he meant, this what he meant, this what. And I don't want that to happen. So I stay away from that kind of Twitter. Right? I'm good, bro.
Here's my question.
And no characters for I feel.
Here's my question. They're changing that to 240 characters.
Still ain't.
So here's my question that I know you have a very great political answer for.
Oh, shit.
As New York MCs and as New York wordsmiths, right? A lot of times, a stereotype exists. And people just make up how they assume New York MCs feel with the success of the South and the domination. And boy, is it dominant.
I don't even want to pass him the ball.
As a Southern MC, though, how do you feel? How do you feel knowing that? I didn't fix the features. How do you feel?
How do I feel? I don't know, man. It's weird because I remember before it was mumble rap, it was swag rap, and then I remember before that it was whack. Shit whack, right? And something happens is when the South starts creating music and everything starts to shift. When names start being created for what the music is that we're making in the South, that we've always been making. Mind you, there's always lyrical content somewhere embedded, right? People just choose to magnify a certain sound or maybe a certain artist, but there's always lyrical content. For me, I'm from Mississippi. Trying to get people to listen to my music was a struggle. It's really hard, right? Not only because of how I sounded accent-wise, but how they felt about Mississippi. So I'm always gonna champion
How
the
did
South.
they feel about me?
Oh man, I mean, based off of what racism, we talking about slavery, all these things. I'm battling so much, and then I want you to hear my album. And that shit was a struggle. That was hard. And it, not only on an artist level, but just on a human level. But you haven't been. You don't know where the fuck I'm from. Come down there. The intelligence is wild. People are intelligent. Don't think I'm country dumb. Like,
Yeah.
And so it's one of them situations where I champion the South. And I don't care if it's the young artists or the older ones. I'm a champion that shit because it's always gonna be where it's East Coast hip hop, boom. You got West Coast hip hop, boom. And then it's the South. And we just trying to figure out a way to make sure that we're heard and or that it's all the
Y'all
same.
gotta stop
So the
saying
first
that.
thing-
Y'all
nah.
gotta stop saying that.
Come on, Hogan.
Y'all are heard.
No, because to say that, but then to ask me the question you just asked me, why would you even have to ask me that question?
Whoa, I can tell you why. Because you are a wordsmith. You are a Southern MC. I don't think that the bitter stereotype that they apply to solely New York MCs is specifically for us. I have to ask that question because it's not just New York that's noticing what's happening in the climate. There's some wordsmiths in the South.
Okay.
Such as yourself, some of the kids don't know that there are wordsmiths in the South.
Okay.
So, on this show, we can't ever say how y'all would feel.
Okay, so
And y'all can play all that unity fuckity fuck shit that y'all want.
we then have to magnify the wordsmiths.
Yes.
So, this ain't my show. Thank y'all for bringing me on. But there's a lot of shows I haven't been on. There's a lot of people that don't talk about my music. My name doesn't come up in conversations about hip-hop sometimes. They only talk about what they don't like. They only talk about the stuff that they don't think is dope. That's still promotion for that artist. And that artist then becomes popular. And then you bring them on the show, and they even more popular. And then as a wordsmith,